And kind of making a long story shorter, my dad, my granddaddy, met my grandmother, who was a little German Jewish lady from Attica, Indiana. And they were married and they had two sons, Eugene and Saul. And Saul was my daddy. And there were 18 months difference in their ages. And my daddy grew up in an Orthodox Jewish home, kept all of the holy days, and very strict, very religious Jewish home. My dad married, and moving right along, he met my mother and they were married. And like everybody, I guess, some of you may not want to, but they wanted to have a child. And they prayed. My mother prayed for a child. For 5 years, they didn't have any kids. In 10 years, and they didn't have a child. In 15 years, and the doctors had told my mother that she probably would not ever be able to carry a child. And my mother really prayed, and she really wanted a baby, really bad. The 16th year of their married life, she came home and told my father that they were going to have a baby. And she was very, very sick the whole time. And then when she went into delivery, they did not think that she would make it. In fact, the doctors came out and they told my dad, they said, Mr. Lipsky, the baby or your wife, one of them will probably not make it. They wasn't sure. She had a lot of complications. Now, I got to tell you something. God works in our lives, and He's brought us to a place where we are. I know that I'm here for a reason, just like you are. There's no accident that you're here this morning. God has a purpose for every one of us. And so, anyway, my mom made it through. And if you've met my brother, she gave birth to my brother on the 2nd of December, and a real cold night. And like I said, she wasn't going to make it, but she pulled through. If you met my brother this summer, he's about 6'3", 3.5". Big guy, very quiet, nothing like me. And he is very healthy. And I love him very much. And he lives in Memphis near my mother. Well, what was a real shocker was 4 years later, and that's when I came along, because they thought they could never have a child. And then here comes another one. And by this time, my dad was 60 years old. Okay? And so don't give up, guys. I mean, there's still time, so, because I'm here. And your wife has just fainted. I see her. No, I'm just kidding. I never knew that daddies were bald-headed and gray. My daddy was everything to me that a young daddy is. I never knew any difference. He played with us, and he was at every ball game that I was in. Everything that I did, he was there. I always waited for me because he was retired whenever I was in school, and so he was waiting for me everywhere I came from, So he could do everything with me. He was my very, very best friend. My very best friend was my daddy. And